What's popping, y'all? It's not looking good for Designer. The more information that comes out about this, the more repulsed I am by the entire situation. This all started several days ago where there were some statements going around that Designer like exposed himself in an airplane. And then when he landed, he was at Rolling Loud, Thailand. That was going on. Thailand. I don't know if he went to Japan after, but he comes back and then he posts this and he says, "For the past few months, I have not been okay and I've been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds and I had to hop on a plane home. I'm ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States and am admitting myself in a facility to help me. I'll be canceling all my shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, please get help." It's like, okay, what happened here? But now we're finding out that he's going to get charged with indecent exposure. And TMZ got the exclusive on it, and they said, "Designer's officially facing legal trouble for exposing himself on an airplane. The feds say he, in front of flight attendants mid-flight and seemed pretty nonchalant about it. According to legal docs obtained by TMZ, the rapper's being charged with indecent exposure, and the paperwork sheds more light on last week's incident, saying he had his you-know-what out while sitting in first class of the Delta flight and was engaging in this behavior while in his seat." You know what actually frustrates me about this the most? He had to do this in Delta. Of all airlines, Delta is the greatest airline. Let's keep it a buck here. I'm talking specifically if you're traveling within the United States. Like, don't tell me about Turkish Airlines or what is it, Emirates. No, we're talking about American Airlines or airlines that are traveling within America. Delta's the best. Delta's always great service. They're always on point with everything. The entire entertainment experience is good. I only co-sign Delta. Heavy co-sign from HY. So this hurts my heart as a Delta traveler that I see him doing this to them. Now, if it was some other trash airline, I wouldn't feel as bad. Anyway, he said flight attendants allegedly told him multiple times to stop, and he eventually was taken to the back of the plane where he was monitored by two of his friends. The FBI affidavit says a jar of Vaseline dropped into the aisle as he was getting up to switch seats. Listen, man, that statement that Designer was putting out, I don't believe this is mental health anymore. This has to be some sort of like sickness, like multiple times. And I think the whole mental health angle is for them to set up some sort of plea or some sort of situation where they're like, yo, he wasn't in the right state of mind when he did this. Man, an animal, if you slap an animal a couple of times after it does the same thing, it's going to learn. So you're telling me where Designer had two people and he had other people telling him, yo, stop. And he kept going, that this was like mental health? Look, you're not doing that and not listening on an airplane because you're depressed, Designer. Let's just be completely honest here. You're either insane, schizophrenic, whatever the case may be. They did say they gave him medication. He was prescribed medication at Asia. We don't know if he took that medication. If he did, maybe he was in an altered state of mind. I don't know at that point. But they said, after landing in Minneapolis, authorities say they spoke with Designer who told them it all happened because he didn't really get much cootie while in Japan and was brick hard when he got on the plane. I refuse to believe this. This is one of those moments, if we circle back to Tory Lane's case, where they said that he allegedly screamed dance and then shot at that. There's no way, I don't believe unless I see a video footage, and even then I might tell you it's AI or a deep fake. It just, reality, the truth is stranger than fiction at that point. And I don't believe Designer said this. I refuse to. Just to keep my sanity. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't believe it. Because if he actually said this, then I must be living in a different reality and I may need to be administered into a facility. According to docs, Designer said he was aroused by the flight attendant and kind of showed her the magic stick thinking it would give her encouragement. This is behavior that somebody that is, I don't want to say slow, but someone that's not all the way there mentally would be engaging in. Like, for example, you remember when Designer first came into the game and we all thought, yo, is this guy all the way there? Like, are all the chips on his head or chips on the table or is all his ducks in a row? Whatever the hell other statements there are. Is everything all right up there? Because he was just acting crazy. But eventually he started speaking normally. And then we were like, okay, I guess he just acts up and was excited to get famous. But if he's doing stuff like this, then maybe we were right. And then it says, this is the important part. By the way, Desiigner claimed he wasn't under the influence, saying he was prescribed meds in Thailand, but hadn't been taking them. According to the docs, he didn't appear to be impaired during the interview with the FBI. One thing it says Japan. I don't know if he went to Japan, because if he was prescribed medication, would he even be allowed to take it from Thailand to Japan? That's another question, because there are really strict drug laws in Japan. But I mean, I guess if you have a prescription, they might allow it. I don't know. I haven't flew into Japan and will never fly in there with any type of drug. I was able to find more information on another news site, and this makes it sound even worse. And they did say he was going from Tokyo to Minneapolis. So it said that they first spotted Desiigner exposing himself about 60 to 90 minutes into the flight on April 17th. He covered himself, and then they said 5 minutes later, 2 flight attendants spotted him engaging in that behavior again. And then he was told no, and then covered himself, they said. And then the lead flight attendant came to his seat and said he was going to be arrested. But a little bit after, the flight attendant found him doing it again, a third time. And then he was moved to the back of the plane. So this guy was disrupting first class, disrupting Delta, pretty much violating the people around him and the flight attendants that had to deal with it and see what the hell he was doing there. As much as we want to come at people like Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, whoever else, have we ever seen them do anything remotely close to this bad? On a flight, too? Of all... It's important for us to reserve judgment, though. We don't have the whole story, because there isn't anything that excuses this. Zero. However, what I want to know more is the people that were with him, because they said he had 2 friends with him. So I'm guessing the friends were in coach and they didn't know, maybe, or they were way behind, because I can't imagine Desiigner sitting next to one of his homies doing this. That would make the story even crazier, because at that point you just got to knock him out if he's your man's. Like, you have to do him a service. Be like, yo, this guy's not mentally all the way there. He's about to get himself into trouble, so you just got to like hit him or something. And he'll understand later. You just explain to me, yo, you were tweaking. I just had to try to knock you out or something and smack some sense into you. And then he'll be like, oh, yo, thank you. I appreciate it. And I wouldn't be on TMZ and now looked at with a crazy label that nobody wants on their name at all, especially when you're not only a male, but you're also a public figure whose money depends on your public image. And you don't have a hit song. You haven't had a hit song in a very long time. So when people are booking you, not only are they going to think, oh, yeah, he's got Panda and that, but they're going to be like, yo, you remember that last thing he did? Damn. So, yeah, they're probably going to think of something to handle this situation. If I had to guess, it was probably Desiigner's lawyer that handled this. I don't even know if Desiigner really has real management anymore. He's definitely not signed to a major label. He left Def Jam and has been independent since. Def Jam, good music. Just giving some detail. And I did come to find out that he was in Tokyo. He did like some club performance or something. And like I said earlier, the flight was from Tokyo to Minneapolis. But let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Is Desiigner... What is wrong with the dude? I made a video like several months ago in November talking about how been struggling for a while, just mentally speaking, just on an emotional level. It's what it seems like when you look at what he's been posting. But that is completely different from what he's just done on that airplane. So let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.